Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? So, Sword Art, what is good, yo? This episode of Sword Art, man, was actually pretty hype. I can say that I'm hoping a lot of people actually feel the same. Not only was the fight pretty dope, overall, just learning about how the whole entire place kind of became what it is with the whole different beliefs and different people being higher ups and some people not being higher ups and things like that. Seemingly, we're getting more of where all of this hierarchy came from, and that aspect plus the fight and just seeing like the capabilities of what can possibly happen with all of this information all seems pretty dope to me, and I think that's the main reason why I enjoyed this episode was even though we were getting a lot of information after the fight was pretty much over, and the fight didn't even end in like a traditional, oh, he won. The guy who pretty much would have won ended up like remembering something he shouldn't have, and that kind of putting him in a position where now he couldn't even continue to fight or something along those lines because he must have broken like a taboo with the summon that he has that he was speaking of and that Kimito picked up on. So we're in a position now where we're kind of seeing, even if Kimito wants to help some of these people, there's like a negative like thing that could happen easily because of certain things this woman has done. And by woman, I mean the girl who pretty much made everything and didn't even really like take credit for it necessarily in the sense of she wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm doing this and I'm making it exactly how I want it. It was just seemingly she put it kind of all as God's will kind of thing. So it wasn't just like a actual kid saying these things. The people who already were worshiping her thought she was pretty much capable of talking to God, not necessarily being one. Um, but as she got into a good position, enough to, whatever she says becomes like law, and even worse, like anything she says that you don't abide by could even be followed up by death. I think that is a big way of just indicating that regardless of where or what she's trying to do, she's gonna get it done somehow, some way, some shape or form, because she just has the authority that we saw earlier when she first started to even conjure up this plan of pretty much taking over and stuff. Anything she would hunt or kill, it would pretty much be like the leveling system of the game. It would start giving her higher and higher levels over certain aspects of the control system. And so with her spamming that, and I think um, it came down to the case of where you're seeing her like hunting stuff, which I don't recall if she says because I know she made hunting and murder like punishable by law just because she didn't want people getting their authority levels up. So that makes it sound like um, not only could the people who quote unquote were the gods, the four gods who came in to, kind of like usher in how to do certain things like livestock and, um, making metal and different things like along those lines. They also had the people who he just, well, not people, but we had one person who just saw he wanted the most negative thing possible for these like humans that they're pretty much creating, and he got his wish. Those people being the ones to take over practically everything in the sense of whatever moves, whatever kind of um, gets talked about or is taboo, they're the ones who are going to crush and stuff like that because they have that much influence over everybody. And I thought it was interesting in the fact of we haven't really seen much of the characters like that supposedly are the ones ruling this world and stuff like that. So to all of a sudden get like a full-on story about one person, and I mean we've seen her in the opening song, like she's like laying on a bed and stuff, but it also didn't make sense for how long this like world had existed and stuff. Like how could there be only one person who was controlling it? They go into that of her finding the command list of every single command pretty much in the system. So clearly she found one that could age herself back to a younger age, and by doing so she didn't really have to worry about the one thing that was probably messing her up, which was like something that maybe your body just can't handle at its age or something along those lines. And by going into a younger age, that became not like a non-existent thing. So um, even after having that happen, she then wanted to, I'm pretty sure she wanted to continue to like destroy what was already in like the system. She wanted to like make things impossible for other people to reach, in my opinion, or something along those lines. She was like tampering with the system in a way that she really shouldn't have been. That wasn't in the protocols, I'm guessing. And because of that, it just goes to show that she was um, she was very close to like being the ultimate of all ultimates, and then she pretty much became it on accident by being fused with the entire system. So not only was she like very intelligent already and cunning and wanting to like, own stuff in her own way, in her own rights, she now has, the ability to she is a part of like the system is fused with her. So not everything that pretty much happens, she might get like a little tick about it or something, like the door being erased in this week's episode. That might be something she knows about because she's a part of the system. So noticing an abnormality here and there is probably in her design, So that's kind of where I'm looking at how powerful she could possibly be. And if she is, how much of a problem that's going to be for someone like Kimito, or not necessarily Kimito, but maybe the main blonde Kimito, in the sense of he won't really be able to fight anything that she does, because we learned to also this week that Kimito was unregistered. So by being unregistered, it makes a lot more sense why blonde Kimito was so like, whoa, you don't have a job? Like, you don't even know what your calling is and stuff like that. It's because he wasn't put into this world with one. And that is probably what those AKA gods kind of had as well. They came in without any type of job indication. They were just supposed to be how they were. They were supposed to be whatever they wanted to be. That's what a god is pretty much in this world, because they created it, or at least they are helping the people that created it. And that's probably where the messed up part either fall in line, because I mean, think about it. If you put in someone that like Kimito, for instance, and then a whole bunch of other people, and then you get one laughing coffin member. You know what I mean? That's pretty much the scenario of this world, and the laughing coffin members all took over. I feel like that's the arc that they wanted to do, is the laughing coffin members all take over SAO, and Kimito is supposed to figure out a way to break it apart. Like that's what it kind of feels like, but to a way like deeper to extent. And I'm not actually like saying that in like a bad way or trying to like diss on it or anything. I just feel like there was probably something they wanted to do, and it didn't come out as cool as how this is coming out. And I think this is just a good way of thinking of what type of level of crazy it really is. Like we have one of the most evilest people possible, evil, more evil than the guy who made the sword art in general, who kind of wasn't evil. He just wanted something that he always dreamed of, and once he got there, he lost all sight of what being a human and what humans would feel in that type of place if they just could die, and all this crazy stuff that I can head canon in. But in my opinion, this is by far the craziest stuff Kimito's ever dealt with, and I love that aspect because if they can push the envelope from here on, I mean, there are some really dope abilities that were used in this week's episode, like the whip extending, breaking off into two, them using an arrow elemental and bird elementals, all of these different things that they really just showed quickly in this battle just goes to show you where a long, drawn-out battle could truly end as, and that can end with, you know, them using a whole bunch of magic in the beginning and or a system call in the beginning, and then not using any at all towards the end. So yeah, if you can't tell, I'm pretty hype about this. I can't wait to see next week. I just want to see everything, really. That's why I don't really like stress the fact of I want to see next week. I want to see next week. I want to see because I want to see it all. I'm more of a completionist. If there's something I am excited about, I always want to see it complete, or you know, at least go to where they wanted it to go, the creator, or if they don't have it, that much of an image completed for it, then shoot, make more stuff that you didn't even know that you're gonna make, and I'll still watch it. You know, it's just at this point in time, Sword Art has gotten my attention easily every single time it drops something, and this is no different. And I hope anybody who else feels the same as me is sticking around by subbing and you know seeing just what happens. I will be here to review it all. Sorry these videos came out a little bit late. I had some things to handle with uh, you know, family and just, you know, just overall the holidays is going to kind of mess up my schedule. So I do apologize for that. I'm not sure how many videos I'm going to drop today. I might save some for tomorrow. I don't, yeah, I'll see. But expect another video after this for sure. So with that, my anime people, thank you guys so much for the support. Definitely one of the more bigger reasons why I can smile on a day-to-day basis because I know I get to just do something I enjoy, and talking to you guys about anime and talking to you guys about shows I truly want to see more of is one of those things. So I will talk to you in the next one. All right. Peace.